Good day. I extend my greetings to all ministry officers present, to the SARA board, company executives, ladies and gentlemen, with all protocols being observed. I'd like to take an unusual start. Most of us have cars or bakkies, and I'm sure each of us would, if we had to choose, rather opt for the car that is under the 2023 rather than one that is based in 1970 or designed and manufactured in 1970, simply because of a few reasons. But all in essence, what's the best for a hard-working bakkie? Below that, you'll see that I also have some car comparisons for trucks. Likely, you'd also prefer to buy the newer model rather than the old. And the reasons for both of these is you'll have lighter weight, better design over the years, increased fuel efficiency, better safety features, cheaper servicing costs, and much less risk of maintenance breakdowns, just to name a few of the reasons. So, why is rolling stock so different? Why do we still have the same undercarriage that was designed in 1970 being used today for South Africa and the African market? It really indicates a lack of progress and a lack of innovation in the sector on the new developments. Well, we would like to renew this field with enhanced product offerings for Africa that are, from this century, putting tech and innovation at the forefront of design and implementation. So who are we? My name is Rick Schneider. I'm the Executive Director of Amsted Reelin. Amsted Reelin is a joint venture initiative between Amsted Rail, our partners in the US, and Reelin Group, based here in South Africa. Reelin Group is the majority shareholder with 51%, and Amsted Rail is the shareholder of 49%. Let's have a look specifically on bogies. We have the predecessor bogies, historic bogies designed in the 1970s. And they were obviously, the importance of bogies can't be stressed enough. It is essentially the backbone and the skeleton that holds the whole wagon together. And the bogies available in this market are old technology, and in some cases, the bogies have been used already, refurbished, and then sold off to various clients in Africa as something that can provide a decent lifespan. The challenge with this, although it may be cost effective to do, is you'll have an increased, very high maintenance requirements on this. And these could be one of the contributing factors to why, as Africa, we move such less volumes on our freight lines that we should, especially being a primary resource continent. So we've identified these as gaps and issues in rail operation, and it can be addressed with convenient upgrades and support from the local sector with efficient, integratable bogie solutions. We, in that way, are able to offer you what we call the motion control bogie that is being designed and developed for the Cape gauge or narrow gauge, or what may be otherwise termed as the 1067 gauge. Some really great features about this bogie is that it's a self-steering bogie. It's lightweight. It's totally interchangeable with the current fleet that you have. The product itself matches perfectly with the predecessors of the older or the predecessor bogies, and there's a massive emphasis on reduced cost and reduced total cost of ownership. With all these advancements, we are also able to increase the load capacity and enhance the reliability. So it's really a good concept when you can say we want a three-piece simple bogie with the fewest pieces possible that is also a self-steering bogie or a passive steering bogie. just as a brief overview of the components, this in reality is the components that go into this bogie. It's your side frame, your bolsters, your components for steering is what's identified as the green component. Essentially is a steering pad. Essentially is the steering pad, and that really makes all the difference in the steering capability of this bogie. And if anyone wants more information on that, I'll be happy to elaborate further at our stand. But the real value that I'd like to touch on is total cost of ownership. As you'll see on this total cost of ownership, I've done a fairly detailed breakdown on how we expect the lifespan of the bogie to operate based on current usage. The first maintenance cycle will happen after, heavy maintenance cycle will be after 1.5 million kilometers of use. That translates to roughly 15 years of use. First maintenance cycle after 15 years of use. And that estimated cost is, in today's value, 2,000 rupees. It's the same with the second heavy maintenance after another 15 years. So at year 30 or 3 million kilometers, you do another heavy maintenance, and likewise for the third. So essentially, you'll have a bogie that, when you buy brand new, should last you 45 years if it follows the proper maintenance protocols. As you can see, the total cost of the maintenance for 45 years is 6,000, and your total investment, in essence, is about 13,600, which brings your annual cost to $302 for 45 years. You don't really get a bogie for that price if you work it out. It's unheard of. If you have to amortize your carrying capacity and your tonnage that's moved over that period on a monthly basis, you'd end up contributing cents towards each ton that's moved. The nice thing is what we do offer is all maintenance training or all maintenance training workshops are provided by us to our customers to ensure that you are upskilled to manage these at your own depot, which is really, we don't leverage you with maintenance. So I got a quick case study that's based on some of the readings I've done, where CFM reports that work in progress on 72 kilometers in Bangula Makra railway line, which will link Malawi's main commercial center, Blantyre to Beira. So using the same bogie, moving 80 tons per load at 80 kilometers per hour metro on a 72 kilometer line, it effectively indicates that the bogie per annum will run at 56,000 kilometers. This translates to not a 15-year cycle, but a 26-year cycle for the heavy maintenance requirement for it to reach its 1.5 million kilometers. You have to have a gauge check every 200,000, which is just to make sure all your tolerances are still in line and that the bogie is still happy to go into service. That you do on a 72-kilometer line every 3.5 years. And with this information, if the bogie ran solely on this line, was purchased solely to perform on this line, it extends the lifespan of this bogie to 80 years. A brand new bogie to last you 80 years. Now that is some fantastic engineering. So I've touched on the bogie. Just briefly, I'll touch on other products that we offer you from Amsted Reelin. We say it's virtually everything under the rail car, in terms of the undercarriage. It's your bogies, it's your bearings, your wheel sets, draft gears, your end-of-car systems, your slack adjusters, your braking equipment. We really have all those options for you. I see how we rushed off. And so basically, it's everything under the slide, under the rail car. So very quickly, I'm going to touch on a digital solution, which is our tracking and monitoring device for wagons. It is an unpowered product. It comes with a battery that lasts 7 to 10 years, depending on the frequency of information you want to receive. Through this year, we essentially combine the impact of saying you have predictive maintenance, you have emergency maintenance, or rather you have scheduled maintenance and planned maintenance, and then you have emergency breakdown maintenance. Through this solution, you're able to predict when maintenance cycles should happen. And you do that by establishing various IDs onto the unit to identify if your bearing is heating, or if there's unusual vibration, or if the hatch is opened for moving specialized or high-value cargo. We also have a weight detector, so once a weight is reached or your wagon is at 72 or 80 tons, it says, right, the wagon's ready, you can dispatch to your client and you can use that for invoicing proof. So that's, in a nutshell, the two topics that I wanted to touch on. I can discuss more with you. I think we ran out of time. But here is our details. You can take a picture, you can stand, and we hope to hear more of you and engage on our products. Thank you.